Ladies and gentlemen, my name is jonathan+swift, and I'm here to inform you about the new government's policy on higher education. But before I begin, I would like to clear up a misunderstanding that has arisen in the popular press. The coalition has been called the Lib Dem Coms. This is a mistake. As you know, the Conservatives won by far the majority of votes in the last election, so the correct name for the coalition is the Con Lib Dems, as you see here. You all know that severe cuts are to be initiated immediately to repair the disastrous state of the economy left by the outgoing government. Certain pledges were made during the campaigning phase of the election, promising to maintain frontline services in the National Health Service and in education. However, none of these pledges were made by the present coalition. We are therefore free to ignore those pledges and to do exactly what we like. As to St. Martin's, certain important departments, such as industrial design and fashion, will be retained. But frivolous and wasteful areas, such as so-called fine art, film studies, animation, sculpture, and the like, will be closed down at the end of the current academic year. That is to say, in a few weeks from today. This will free up large areas of real estate in prime London locations, which will be sold off for offices and for luxury apartments and penthouses. And in fact, we have already received offers from certain Russian oligarchs and even from African heads of state showing interest in acquiring this property. So this looks like being a very highly successful move by the new government, and indeed a money spinner. You may be wondering what will be the fate of the students who have unwisely signed up for courses in the disciplines that are to be abolished. Don't worry, the coalition has thought through all aspects of this problem. The students will not be cast onto the scrap heap of state benefits. They will not be left to languish on the dole. They will not be left to languish on the dole. Instead, they will be redeployed to the East End of London, where they will take on prestigious work for the new Olympic Games of 2012. Obviously, they will not be qualified for skilled work such as hod carrying or cement mixing. But there are many other tasks for them. For example, cleaning up after the skilled craftsman, road sweeping, gardening, rubbish collection. While it is true that all this work will be at minimum wage, and I must warn you that the minimum wage is to be somewhat reduced in order to help filling the brown-black hole of the deficit. We must all contribute our little bit. But the students will find they'll meet up with the reality of life as it is lived. And if any of you feel like pursuing art in your spare time as a hobby, I'm sure you will find this meeting with reality helpful in your work. The coalition has anticipated there may be elements amongst the students who do not want to take up the government's generous offer of redeployment to the Olympic Games site. We've thought of that. And there is therefore a second option. Students are of just the right age to join our armed forces and help their country in its battle against our enemies, the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, in the Helmand province of Afghanistan. Obviously, this option does not qualify for the minimum wage, as food and shelter are provided, but the notional salary will be hypothecated towards paying for suitable boots, gas masks, and weapons. The coalition has also taken into account the possibility, I hope it won't arise, but it may, that certain students will refuse both the Olympic effort option and the armed forces option. Now, unfortunately, at present, all our prisons are full. But this situation is going to change. I'm not allowed to reveal how that will take place yet, but be assured that it will be swift, like my name, and humane. So, the recalcitrant students who don't accept either of those two options, for them we plan to introduce a new category of crime. This is refusal to accept work. And those convicted of it will be placed in high security prisons, no matter how full they may be, where they will work as servants to the prison officers and also in certain duties with certain special category long-term prisoners. I needn't go into detail. An initial sentence of 3 years is roughly equivalent to a degree course and will be the norm. However, after the 3 years, it's anticipated that most of these students will wish to take up a position in civil society, and they will then be able to bring to the table the new skills that they have learnt during their time in prison. I'm talking about skills in personal relationships, tension relief, slopping out, and that sort of thing. So I urge all students, if there be any here, who are in the frivolous categories mentioned above, fine art, sculpture, film studies, animation, etc., to prepare to move out within the next 2 weeks. And take all your goods with you, because anything left in the building after that 2-week window will be confiscated, auctioned off, or burnt. I wish you all well in your future careers, no matter how humble they may be. And I am myself proud to be a humble toiler in the brave new world of coalition government. Here's to the success of the British Olympics in 2012. Thank you and goodbye. And now on to the city lit where even deeper cuts will be made. I'm told they have courses in such things as stand-up comedy.
Thanks, everyone.